So if you go to your material editor, and under a new slot we'll create a material called pendant. We'll just drag our reference image into the diffuse slot. So we go to our top viewport. I'm going to create a cylinder just in the centre, like so. So we'll change the dimensions, the radius round about 300, and don't worry about the height, just ensure your height segments are reduced to 1. So we'll just move this out of the scene, and next to it we'll create a plane for our reference image. So we'll just apply our reference image here, and we'll just scale it to get the proportions correct. We'll just move that over and scale it to match your cylinder. Like so. So you select your cylinder, we'll apply an edit poly, and we're just going to delete the top and bottom face. If you right click on your cylinder, go to Object Properties, and under Display Properties select See-Through. This will allow us to see our reference photo behind. So if you select your vertex selection, and we'll just adjust these like so. We're just going to use the Move and Scale tool here. So if you go back to your edge selection, just loop these edges round, select your Scale tool, and if you hold Shift and scale it, this will extrude these edges. So again with the Move tool, Shift and Move, just go to scale that to match. Again, Shift and move this up. Scale that again. It's just pretty simple, like so. Just so we can roughly match the shape. That looks pretty good. So we'll just go back to our object properties and turn see-through off. So we'll just apply a turbo smooth to this now. And we can see it's curved a lot of the edges, so we'll go back to edit poly and refine some of these. So we'll just select all these edges here, go to connect, we'll apply 2 segments, and if you use your toggle show end result, we can just adjust these like so. So we'll want to do this for most of the edges. Out there. These ones will move, we'll pinch them right to the edge. And the same here. That's looking pretty good. So we'll just finish off here by connecting all these. So the closer your connect is to the edge, the sharper the edge will be. Okay. So that looks great. Back to your front viewport. Let's go back to the edit poly. And I'm going to just scale this out slightly. So let's add a wee bit more detail. If you go to your edge selection, we'll just ring these edges around here. Go to connect, add 1 segment and use a slider, like so. Go up to our polygon selection, and we'll just ring these round. I'm just selecting 1 polygon, hold shift and select the next, and it will ring them round. I'm just going to extrude these, and we'll just make sure local normals is selected. Back to your front viewport, and under selection, select edge, and we'll just loop this edge round. Just going to chamfer this, It's around about 2mm. And we'll go back to our polygon selection. Select all these polygons round. And we'll just extrude these, but this time we'll extrude them inwards. So go back to Turbo Smooth. You can see we just added some more detail. It's up the iterations, a wee bit more resolution. So that looks pretty good. I'm just going to refine it slightly. Just on this edge here, we'll just ring them round. We'll just connect them. Just going to reduce my slider to 0. We'll add 2 segments again, and we'll just refine that slightly. Okay, so that looks pretty good. What I want to do next is, on top of the edit poly, we'll apply a shell modifier. And we'll just shell it like so, maybe around 1.5mm, and turn the Turbo Smooth back on. This will allow us to add 2 different materials, one to the inner and one to the outer later on. So we'll just create the top section now. So again, we'll create a cylinder, go to your top viewport, select your 2.5 snap, right click on it and ensure pivot is selected. This will ensure it's central to the pendant. We'll just move this up and we'll just change the radius and height. Like so. So if we apply an edit poly here, and we'll just delete the top and the bottom face. So the same idea as the pendant. We're just going to scale and move our edges. Just move that down and scale it in to taper it. Like so. So if we apply a Turbo Smooth to this, you can see that we need to sharpen up a lot of the edges. So go back to Edit Poly, and we'll select all the vertical edges, and connect, we'll apply 2 segments, and we'll pull this out to about 99 and 99. And we'll do the same here, ring them round, connect that, and the same in here. Okay, that looks pretty good. So if you go to your top viewport, and we're just going to create a box in the centre of the pendant. So we'll just do it about 20 by 20 millimeters. So we go to your front viewport. I'm just going to drag this up to the top of the shade and apply an edit poly. So we select these top vertices and pull them up to the top, like so. So if you select all your vertical edges on this box and go to connect, we'll just connect loads of segments up. We'll say about 25 segments. And we'll just OK that. Under your modifiers, we're going to apply a twist modifier. And we'll just adjust the angle here. So we'll try something pretty high. 2500. Actually looks okay. Just reduce that slightly. To around 1300. Okay, so we'll apply another edit poly here and select your edges. What this has done is it just selected all our edges here automatically. So we'll just go to connect, we'll apply 2 segments and we'll pull these out to around 80. I'm just going to go in here and delete these lower polygons. We'll do the same at the top. So we'll just deselect where edit poly and apply a turbo smooth. And you can see for the cord of the light, we've just created this kind of twisted cable. So we go to our front viewport and we'll select this object. Just going to apply another modifier, the FFD 2x2x2. So if we just select control points, we'll just pull this up. We'll do the same at the bottom. This is quite handy because we can adjust it later, depending on how low we want the pendant and to hang in the hallway. But for now, we'll just leave it like that. So next what we want to do is if we go to our edit poly, we're going to change the material IDs on the shade. So if you just select one poly, shift and hit the one next to it, control and then shift and hit that one. We just want to select all the faces on the inside. So control, shift and click. Just all the way down. Like so. Just do it in here. You always get the odd one like this one that'll just start ringing it around there, so we'll just have to do this manually. So holding control, and we'll just select all the faces. Like so. So under your edit poly menu, if you scroll down and go to set ID, we'll just change this to ID 2. If you invert your selection by pressing Ctrl I, we'll just set this ID to 1. Just deselect that edit poly. So I'll show you what this has done. If you open your material editor, we're going to create a new material. So we'll go get material and we'll select multi-sub object. So we've got two IDs here, so we can just delete these until we get to it. We'll just name this pendant. So we'll just drag two standard V materials in, so that will go to ID 1, and we'll drag that to ID 2. There's two different colours, and if you apply this to the shade, just rename that, sorry. You can see what's happened here, as the inside of the pendant is now a separate material from the outside. So we can just keep this in the material editor slot, and we'll change it for more realistic materials later on. So that is us created the pendant light for the hallway.